We know that this Nehemiah, and Kathy's already shown something of us of this Nehemiah is pointing to the ultimate Nehemiah. That is, the ultimate one who was in the palace, completely safe, had it made, and who left all of that and went out into danger to identify with his people. Of course, Jesus Christ, the ultimate Nehemiah, not doing that at the risk of his life, but at the cost of his life. He's the ultimate Nehemiah. And what did he come to do? Essentially, to make us citizens of the ultimate city. You know, in the Bible, like for example, in Isaiah 26, verse 1, Isaiah is looking forward to the city of God, and he says, we have a strong city. And right away you think Jerusalem, right? But then it says, God sets up salvation as walls and bulwarks. Open the gates that the righteous nation that keeps faith may enter in. Even in the Old Testament, Jerusalem is a sign of something bigger that's coming. Not literal walls, but in a sense, walls of salvation that are going to protect us from sin and death itself. Not actually a physical city, but a spiritual city which in the end of time will come down out of heaven and turn the new heavens and new earth into the new heavens and new earth. And therefore, only when we put Nehemiah into that story, in fact, only when we put the thing we're reading in the Bible, the particular part of the Bible we're reading, we've got to put it into that story. We have to see it as a chapter in that story. We have to see it pointing along the narrative arc. And then things begin to open up. Because you see, there's a certain sense in which, obviously, we can't directly apply Nehemiah. It's not right today, is it, for the people of God to build a wall around themselves to keep out all the unbelievers, to be culturally separated. That's not our job. It's also not our job to call down curses on our enemies, I don't think. I don't believe, or to certainly say to God, please don't forgive them. Because Nehemiah was operating at a different stage in redemptive history, at a time in which God was bringing his salvation through a people of God who existed as a nation state. They existed as a group of people, a nation state. They were a particular race. And you couldn't have a nation state without a city, a capital city with a wall around it, because if you didn't have a wall around it, you didn't have the security for urban life to develop, a place for jurisprudence to develop instead of the vigilantism of somebody is killed and then the avenger of blood comes and kills them. The city was the place, because of the wall, where you could have jurisprudence, where you could have rule of law, where you could have a stable economy and that sort of thing. And so if you're going to be a nation state, you got to have a capital city with a wall. And so Nehemiah isn't really just simply following his passion. He's not just simply following leadership organizational skills to just to create economic prosperity for his particular people group. He knows that for God to continue to do his work as the covenant God, that his people have to be faithful to him, and they have to be covenant people. And in that stage of redemptive history, this is how you did it. For us, we also have to build up the people of God. We don't do it the same way. We do it through conversion. We also have to have a wall, in a sense, around us so that we are helping people be holy and separate and different from the nations. But we do that, of course, through sanctification, through the means of grace. But we are still looking along the narrative arc. We're still looking down the road. The Bible's kind of like a road on the way down to the new heavens and new earth, the ultimate city. They were building their city. We're building, we're bringing people, every time we convert them, we're bringing people into citizenship. Our citizenship is in the city that's above. That's what the New Testament tells us. And we're bringing people into that city. In a sense, we're building that city up. When we just do the work of the church. When you begin to see how the narrative flow goes and where the particular book fits, then things start to open up now.